Okay. Great. It's like we are live. Awesome. Hey, everybody. Stefana Johnson here. Welcome back to another Monday morning mentoring. Today, I want to talk to you about multitasking and how seriously diminishing it is to achieving any goal and to actually optimizing, whether it's your weight loss goals or whether it's productivity goals. Multitasking is really one of the worst things that we can be doing. And I'm going to share with you, this is really the hardest thing I have in my life. I am a multitasker. I always have something going on. I need to be doing multiple things. And it is by far the biggest challenge for me. So I'm coming to you, telling you from a place of, it's the worst thing you can do. And I've seen the tests on it, I've seen the science on it, and for myself, I've seen it, and yet it's a struggle. If this is the first time we're meeting, hi, I'm Stefana Johnson. I'm the creator of Yogilachi, and the Yogilachi is the blend of yoga, Pilates, and Tai Chi. But over the last couple of decades, I've really gotten into the functional yoga, Pilates, and Tai Chi. Not just doing it for the sake of doing it, but how does it actually optimize your functionality to show up to your life and everything you're doing in a better way. So we focus on optimal movement, nutrition, and mindset. And my business is called Powerhouse Leaders. So you'll see those two brands come back and forth, but ultimately it's coming from me. This is if you opt in and you're part of my newsletter, then you see things coming from Stefana Johnson, Yogilachi, and Powerhouse Leaders. It's all the same. It's really about facilitating radical positive results for entrepreneurs, business owners, leaders. I really work with those folks that are giving so much to the world and to their environment, to everyone else. They need the support, and I love supporting and facilitating that support to you guys that are out there super busy doing so many things, and oftentimes your body and your health is the last thing that you think about. So I'm here to help you be able to get that done without spending hours in the gym or doing all kinds of crazy diets. This is a really important topic, and it's why I created the Clean It Up challenge for this month. Why I'm talking about it this month is because we have so many things in our lives that may not really be supporting us, and they just get on automatic pilot, or they're just there and we just put up with them instead of looking at, is this really something that's beneficial? And so that's why I created that Clean It Up challenge. I hope you've joined us. If you haven't signed up for that, make sure you do sign up, because it's going to be fantastic. We're going to focus on really looking at and taking a good view of what's going on in your life in all areas. We do look at the toxins. We're absolutely going to look at the environmental, the food that we're eating. Where are the things that are showing up that we can easily eliminate or shift, maybe make some changes that are really simple, that are not constantly bombarding our body and our brain with an overload and distracting us. So that gets me back to the topic of today's Monday morning mentoring, and that is multitasking. There is science on this that shows that the IQ is diminished by 15 points when you multitask. That's significant. So that means your ability to make really clear, good decisions will be diminished when you're multitasking. So where have you seen this show up? When you're trying to get multiple things going on, and it seems, especially with moms, we've got multiple hats that we're wearing and we're always doing something. But the studies show that when you focus, laser focus on one action, your results are going to be better. your brain function improves, your clarity and your ability to see something through and get a really high quality product or result or outcome is increased exponentially. So this is an important one. This is an important one for me. I hope that you will join me this week in looking at what areas are you finding yourself multitasking. I'll bring up snacking because this is one thing that I notice people do, and if I'm in the car, I'll see people, eating, or they go through the drive-through and then they're driving on, they're eating, and that is multitasking. And when you do snack and you're not present to that moment and meal, sometimes you don't even realize that, oh yeah, I actually did order the cookie with the coffee that I went through Starbucks just to get the coffee, but they said, hey, do you want the biscotti or a cookie to go with that? And you got the biscotti, but you didn't even realize you did it, because you're multitasking and trying to handle text and so this is one area that you can look at. And this week, that's what I'd love for you to focus on. I'd love for you to actually tell me what areas that you may need to work on. If you post that in the comments, we can be accountability buddies on this and look at what can you do to laser focus whatever you're doing when you're doing. That would be the biggest jump, the biggest step. So if you could start with the food, the snacking, being completely present to whatever you're eating, even if it is just a grape, being so present in that moment and not multitasking with the food, that is going to really help with, if you just did that and make one change there, you would actually notice an observable difference in your weight. So a lot of times people just don't even realize what they're putting in their bodies, right? Or that they are eating something. So this can be across the board with multitasking. So it does go actually into productivity. I know when I'm sitting down to either write an article or to prepare for a session, if I'm also trying to do 3 other things and listen to somebody else, I can't give 100% to what I'm working on, to where all my faculties are there and present. So my decisions or my what I'm creating, what I'm writing is not going to be as good as it can be. And I know that this is something that we all have challenges with, of actually rising up to the level of our greatness. But I'd like to challenge you this week to step it up by using this concept of eliminating multitasking and laser focusing on whatever it is you're doing. There are some great productivity studies like the Pomodoro, where you block out time and you just do this for a certain period of time. I like 50 minutes, like I'll go and I will block out 50-minute blocks of time where I'm just focused on one thing, whether I'm focused on just working specifically with the client, or I'm specifically focused on learning time. So I'm on optimizing. If I know I'm going to be studying, or I'm studying something really intense, like I'm in a master's program right now for the brain, and this whole neurological, all of these words and the nomenclature that's involved is incredibly outside of my comfort zone. There's no way I can multitask and actually understand or learn and then be able to apply what I'm learning in this. So blocking out time where okay, I'm going to be studying, or I'm going to be focusing on that time, then you want to optimize that with your nutrition. So don't have snacks right next to you where you're eating and you're snacking while you're reading, or snacking while you're watching TV. Those are those moments where you are inhibiting optimizing the function of the body, physiologically as well as mentally and emotionally. So you want to be aware of that and see how that helps this week as we go forward. Let me see what else I had notes wise that I wanted to share. I talked about a little bit around when we do multitask, how many times does that job have to be done over correctly another time. So instead of thinking, oh, well, we're going to get so much more done if I multitask, you're actually making it harder or giving yourself more work because you might have to come back over and do it again. So, you know, there's those things, because I have worked really hard to be able to multitask and, you know, clean and to be able to do this. I'm going to get this done, this done, this done. But that busyness and multitasking is not always the best. It is not always the most effective. There are some mundane things. I mean, you could, you know, chew gum and scratch your head at the same time talking about that. There's some things like physiologically, I will sit on my spin bike and ride, but I am while I'm reading something, and there's a useful tool for that, but I'm not doing two separate tasks, right? I'm not doing two things that are requiring me to be available to do the bike. I'm not riding hard. I'm just on the bike. My legs are going. And so that's helping with my brain because the movement is actually good, but I'm not specifically doing, like if I were doing a spin class, or if I was specifically focused on my body and optimizing it, I would not also be reading at the same time, you see? So there's useful ways of combining things, but it's not multitasking. So I want to be really clear about that, because I will have my clients do a movement while they're also speaking something, because it's firing a different part of the brain, but not multitasking, not doing multiple things to get an end result, right? So I want to be clear on this, and so you understand where I'm coming from with this coaching component of eliminating the multitasking in your life so that you're actually efficient, effective, and getting the best outcome. And then tie that to what results you're going after in your goals, whether they're health and fitness goals, whether it's, you know, improving if you're learning something, or if you're wanting to improve an area of your life or your business, it is best to laser focus. And when that becomes automatic pilot at the optimal level in a really good way, then maybe you could add a few other things, because that would be a progression. So there's progressions, but again, differentiating and really being clear on we're eliminating multitasking from the ultimate well-being of ourselves. Just like when we go to clean up our environment or clean out toxins, what we're looking at is this supporting me? Is this actually beneficial, right? Because there's no neutral. It's either helping or it's harming. It's either beneficial or it's harmful. And when we have this concept or this understanding and utilize this as a tool, we can look at things in a different way. And so this week with this concept of multitasking, take a look at that, see how it shows up in your life, and commit to, if nothing else, just commit to being fully present to your meal, to whatever it is you're eating. Be fully present. Just do that, just eat and be fully present and mindful in that moment. If you want to take it up to the next level, really up-leveling your IQ and getting much better results than anything else you're doing, then laser focus and put a timer on. If it's 30 minutes, then do a 30-minute timer. If it's, you know, something where you really need to go deep and be at it for 50 minutes, you know, put a timer on for 50 minutes and go deep on that. If it's learning, or, you know, where you're really having to go depth with this. I know for me, I'm about 30 minutes on learning, and then I need to go stretch, I need to go move, I need to shift my body. And that's an important concept to understand as well. But those are the things that I think if you shift this, you're definitely going to see a big difference. I think just by being present and mindful and not multitasking when you eat and snack is going to make a difference in your weight and your metabolism, because you're present to what you're eating. And so let's try that out, see if that helps. If you haven't subscribed, be sure you go to yourholisticmentor.com, subscribe to our Clean It Up Challenge. It's a great one, super, super great. You're going to be part of a group of folks that are interested in optimal well-being and optimizing. We've got lots of good tips that come out of there, and some good takeaways that can make a real positive difference quickly in your life. And one other announcement that I have, yep, I think that's it. So just doing that one thing at a time, that's what we want to do, doing one thing at a time. And once you go to yourholisticmentor.com and opt in there, you'll actually get the login to the portal. And we're going to start tomorrow, so you can be with us on day one and go through with us on this Clean It Up Challenge. It's fabulous. It's going to be super, super fun. I've got some great classes that I'm going to teach on cleaning up the toxins around sunscreen, things like that. I've got some nice things that we're going to be doing for in a holistic way. Again, looking for what helps, as opposed to doing let's eliminate the things that are non-beneficial, and let's reinforce and really ramp up the things that are beneficial for our optimal well-being. Okay, until next time. Hey, if you're watching this as a replay, will you put replay in the comments? And if you're watching live right now, definitely put live and let me know that you were here. And if there's something specific that you're needing help with, that's what I'm here for. So please reach out to me. If you haven't had a chance to book a session on my calendar, go to stefana.net and you can book a time with me. And it would be my pleasure to support you in achieving your health and fitness goals. All right, until next time, have an amazing week. And focus. Let's focus in this week.